Hey there, welcome to First Glance with Jody Vance. Glad to have you along. And you can see a rather sunny day in behind me in my home studio. And I'm talking about sun because our subject matter today is SolarBank Corporation. The ticker symbol is SUNN, SUNN, easy to remember. And we have the president, CEO, and director of SolarBank Corporation with us, Dr. Richard Liu. Thank you for being with us.
So good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Jody, for this invitation. And I'm so thrilled to spend some time with you. I understand everyone's top mind is climate change, global warming. Everyone's looking for a solution, not only for their good heart, but also for their pocketbook. And I will answer your question about SolarBank to the best ability I can today.
I bet you can. You hit a couple of highlights for many people who tune into First Glance with Jody Vance, because ethical investment is very real now. People wanting to maybe move away from some of the things that are harming the environment. And certainly there are some things that are necessary for the world to continue moving forward as we've known it, but moving away from some of the things that can be the future. And it seems to me that SolarBank Corporation is leaning into that. Give us your elevator talk, if you will. Just tell us what the company is about.
SolarBank actually is a Canadian company, been in the market for 10 years now. Started in Ontario with Ontario's feed-in tariff program. 10 years later, we have built hundreds of projects. We have developed thousands of projects. We're building not only in Canada, but also in the States. At the end of the day, what we are doing is the building renewable energy producing power plants, solar power plants, solar farms, right? And that plant convert sunlight to electricity, so that instead of having electricity from fossil fuels, now you can have electricity from renewables such as the sunlight, and without any CO2 emissions and so on and so forth, in turn to contribute to the fight for the climate change and global warming.
And you're talking about commercial operations, right? You're talking big energy here, aren't you?
Yeah, as you know, Jody, there are three market segments in this business. Residential, you can see your neighbors might have some rooftop solar. As you know, not every household have a roof that's suitable for solar. You also see those huge big solar farms that is far, far away from city centers where the energy is consumed. So what we do is the commercial and institutional industrial behind the meter, Home Depot, IKEA, Canadian Tire, those rooftops. And also we do community solar in the States and sell power directly, renewable power, to the neighbors at a discount compared to their retail price.
Wow, that's really something. So Dr. Liu, when somebody wants to push back, I mean, we see it politicized all the time. There are people that say, oh, we don't, in Canada, there's not enough sun for solar, and the naysayers, if you will, usually in the pockets of the competition that are those who might pollute the planet. What are the facts behind the corporate level solar that you're talking about with SolarBank Corp?
Yeah, I think, Jody, I want to start from a resource perspective. As you know, Canada is very resource rich, right? We have Alberta, we have offshore, all of those ones, right? So resource is required for civilization, right? What we're talking about, this resource, the same resource is just from the sun, right? I'm sure people taking vacations in Florida, in islands and so on and so forth, they thinking that's the place that only have sun. But I tell you, I go to Vancouver a lot. Lots of people telling me Vancouver is raining all the time. It's not true, right? In Ontario,
it's not raining today. I'm in Vancouver and it is not raining today.
Right? So you can see the light is everywhere, right? So in Ontario, we have this production-wise, let's say we produce 1,100 kilowatt hours per kilowatt per year, right? We all know Germany was the leader in this, Japan was the leader in this, China was the leader in this, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
What's their resource? Right. Germany is 800 kilowatt hours per year. We are 1,100. Japan is about 1,000, and we're 1,100. Sure, we're less than Texas and Arizona places, but that's more than enough for us to convert the resource.
So, and SolarBank Corporation is a Canadian-based company, but you do work in the United States as well, right?
Correct. Yes. We currently operating in New York and Maryland. We are actively looking into other markets and where the renewable energy is welcomed and also prevalent, right? So we do
Right.
behind the meter for Honeywell. We do power purchase agreement with municipalities, and we do a lot of community solar where the neighbors that can enjoy, a renewable energy at a lower cost.
So you say lower cost. So is solar power expensive? Is it just the upfront cost of creating the infrastructure? Is maintenance difficult? Walk us through some of those pieces.
I think most of the people probably thinking the renewable energy is very expensive, and it was. 10 years ago, I probably spent $4 a watt. Today, I'm only spending $1 a watt, right? So that's how
Hmm.
quickly the cost reduced. At New York for community solar, you pay the utility. Let's say over there is 12 cents or 13 cents a kilowatt hour. When they buy from us, they pay 90% of that. So actually, it is cheaper for the people who buy renewables than the fossil fuels in the States.
Wow. Interesting. Is it a more stable um, energy resource when it comes to, you watch the markets and then you find out how much per barrel. Is there a fluctuation when it comes to the solar piece of that resource puzzle?
Yeah. So two items. First of all, your final product is electron, and the electricity price
Yeah.
is regulated, right? Even in BC Hydro, you go to your regulator, they say that's the rate set for this year. So that's the
Right.
price, right? You cannot sell more. You can sell less, right? So the price is set. So what we are trying to do is really to making sure that we are cost competitive so that people feel that they can save money while doing good by making a contribution to the environment.
So again, for those tuned in to First Glance with Jody Vance, whether you're listening or watching, SolarBank Corporation, SolarBank, all one word, Corporation. The ticker symbol is SUNN, SUN, easy to remember, SUN with two N's, on the Canadian Securities Exchange. We're with Dr. Richard Liu, who's the president, CEO, and director. How did you get involved in this, doctor?
I been in Canada for 32 years now, and by training, I'm an occupational physician. It's taking care of workplace injuries, illness, health, environment, indoor air quality. One thing to the another, I was at Husky Injection Molding Systems. I was at Enbridge, as you know, they're a large energy company as executive.
Yeah.
I ended up with Toronto Hydro, being the chief conservation officer and the VP. It's just the one thing to the another as you're moving forward, I realized that, that energy actually is the biggest contributor to climate change, global warming, air quality. That's where I get started. Started my own company in 2007. And 15 years later, we're running a public company, giving everyone an opportunity to participate and while making a contribution to the environment.
So how does SolarBank derive its revenue?
So we are a developer, and lots of people, familiar with the real estate development. In terms of principle, they're all the same. We've identified the suitable land that is
Yeah.
non-agricultural, non-environmental sensitive. We secure the site, and we go to utility, get an interconnection agreement. We go to the city, get a construction permit. We put the money together, and then we are a construction company and engineering consulting firm. So we will be
Wow.
doing the design, procurement, doing the construction. We usually have about half a dozen construction sites at any time in a year. And after it's done, and usually it's owned by the investment banks, like my own pension fund, Ontario Public Employee Pension Fund, that they own them, and we do the operation. And since public offering, we also start to own those assets for longer income for our investors, 35 years each project.
Wow, that is something. You've got your history on the journey that you just laid out of who you are and how all of the skills that you've honed over the years apply to SolarBank Corporation. It really is quite something, Doctor. Interesting. If somebody's listening right now and thinking, okay, I want to know more about the company and in particular, solar
Yes,
voltaic?
yes,
Can you
yes,
explain that to me?
yes.
Because I want to know more about that.
So solar, we know is from the sun. Photo means photon, which is the particle. Voltaic is the voltage. So we basically turn photon into electron. That process is the photovoltaics.
So that's how this actually works. And
Yeah.
is that way when people talk about, we're all moving to electric vehicles, or we're trying to be more mindful of anything that has a negative impact on our climate and contributing to the climate emergency. Will companies such as yours, will solar be able to sustain, along with hydroelectric, perhaps, the hunger for what will need to be our future if we're going to move away from fossil fuels?
Yeah, so we will all need electricity, and the electricity currently, is coming from fossil fuels, from hydro, from wind, from solar. So I think in our future energy demand, there will be a mix of all the resources, right? So what
Right.
we're saying is that the wind and the solar may not be there 24/7. So that's why we have hydro, and we have gas, we have thermal plants, we have nuclear as the
Right.
base load, right? So this is where,
Right.
Jody, when people are talking about carbon neutral, it's not about to get rid of fossil fuels. It's work
Right.
to making sure there's no more CO2 emission into the air. We will still the nuclear running in the night, all other base load, right? Just in the
Yep.
day. And when the wind is blowing, we can use as much renewable as possible. So it is a mix of the different resources to support our lifestyle.
Interesting. It's like make hay while the sun shines. SUNN on the Canadian Securities Exchange, SolarBank Corporation. Dr. Richard Liu is the president, CEO, and director. How do people find out more? What's your website?
Oh, it's SolarBankCorp.com.
SolarBankCorp.com. Thanks for being with us on First Glance. We'll look forward to continuing to hear about your projects moving forward. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Judy.